So, good afternoon, lovely people. Um, I've been doing some reading, and this is really, really bad. Um, I know that y'all probably remember the Great Depression. Okay, the Great Depression. How did it happen? Well, I just got evidence. I knew. All I had to do was wait my time. The longest and deepest downturn in the history of the United States in the modern world industrial economy lasted more than a decade, beginning in 1929, and ending during World War II in 1941. Okay, we got regarding the Great Depression, we did it. We're very sorry, ... We won't do it again. Ben Bernanke, November 8th, 2002, in a speech given at a conference to honor Milton Friedman on the occasion of his 90th birthday. Okay? They did this crap. How did they do it? How did they fuck up the whole world? He just admitted it. Okay? Ben Bernanke admitted it. He was a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Acknowledged publicly what economists have long believed. The Federal Reserve's mistake contributed to the worst economic disaster in history. So they basically are kind of admitted it, but they're really not telling the whole story. They're not telling the whole story at all, what happened. Okay, the Red Summer. National World War I Museum and Memorial. An outbreak of racial violence known as the Red Summer occurred in 1919. An event that affected at least, this is cap, but I'm not going to read it because they already, I can smell a lie already. Okay? They went to war against African Americans. They went to war. They bombed cities. They looted cities, going in houses with shopping bags, taking whatever they wanted, what they could carry. And if they couldn't carry it, they're going to find a way to get that out, like pianos and things like that. Okay, so back in the day, we were not broke. Somehow, we got the money to open theaters, hospitals, jails. We had the money. So this myth about black people being second-class citizens is not the truth. Back then, the picture that they paint is of slaves just newly released from slavery with no place to go, no food, no this, no that. It's not true. They made that shit up. And you know what? Every time I read something like this, I think of Michael Jackson and how he tried to warn the world that the history books are lying to us. Yes, they are. These fools sent the world into a depression because they were envious and needed to get the black man hold on America destroyed. They had to have it because we were too rich. We was living too good, and they were poor, and they were looking at what we had and wanted it. That's what happened. That's why they took the extreme of bombing a town, looting, murder, rape, people hiding in the swamps. That's why. And like I say, this has been running through my mind. And I was pleasantly shocked to find the information that I got. Okay? They waged war against the African Americans, which means we are prisoners of war to any African American. We are prisoners of war, which means they should be following the Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention. Like that little experiment they did in Tuskegee. Okay, that little syphilis experiment. That is cruel and unusual punishment. And they have never been held accountable for what they did to us. Stealing farmland, stealing this, stealing that. And then, they act like it just never happened. Okay, they're black cities. Not towns, not little rinky-dink one mailbox place. No, we had it together. And see, what really gets on my nerves is the fact that black people treated like second-class citizens, like we ain't shit. But they always need us. So that's why they haven't killed us all off. They need us for cheap labor. They think that by paying a person who's in prison $1 for doing $50 worth of work an hour, they think that that's how they're gonna keep this up. That's human trafficking. And I'm not forgetting all the people that were incarcerated under false charges, false saying they guilty. There's too much money in the prison industrial complex. I believe that's why Pimp C was murdered. If he was murdered. They try to say he was drinking lean. But that, I don't believe nothing these folks say. They lie so damn much. And black people don't know where the hell they came from. Don't know if we come from Africa. What place in Africa? Africa is a huge continent. Just what city in Africa did I come from? Or could it be the same as what Richard Wright said in his novel, Native Son? What Martin Luther King say, that we languishing in our own country? Why did Martin and his father leave across seas in 1929? Why? I want to know why. I want to know why we are not covered under POW protection. Why are they able to sit there and do experiments and not get in trouble? You don't be giving people syphilis and think you can get away with it. But they can, and they did get away with it. But dog, this is terrible. This is terrible. Oh. I'm going to put this on Black Cities Let's try 1800. Let's see what comes up if I push 1800. Okay. All black towns across America. Let's say. Hold up. I'm not fixing to pay for this, so I'm going to find another one. Wikipedia has a list of freedmen towns. Alabama, Arizona, California, Canada, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi. It just don't stop. Missouri, Nebraska, New Jersey, Virginia, Texas. Texas got at least 15. Tennessee, South Carolina, Oklahoma, North Carolina, New York, New Mexico. And because I'm skeptical of all this, I bet there were more. They turned the economy upside down, headed to where even white people were jumping off buildings. They didn't feel security. They thought their whole life was ruined. They jumped off buildings and committed suicide. And now, Mr. Bernanke says, we did it. I'm sorry. We did the Great Depression. I'm sorry. They need to pay black people back for all that land they stole. All the mineral rights and everything. And see, it doesn't make any sense. They're saying most of these municipalities were established or populated by freed slaves, either during or after the period of legal slavery in the United States in the 19th century. That's a lie. It has to be a lie. You mean that a slave is going to be penniless, ain't got no food, no place to live because nothing was really done about that, and they suddenly built a town when white folks won't hire them? Doesn't make sense. There's a lot of holes in this story, and they better not ever try to tell no kid that they didn't start the Great Depression. Yes, the hell they did. Ben Bernanke admitted it. Okay, they had movie theaters, hospitals, everything. And then they bombed, looted, raped, all that. And then gonna have the nerve to tell black folks we can't come to their place. No, we are a wall white town. We don't want black people here. Well, why in the hell did they burn down our places in the first place then? See, putting black people at the bottom of society was strategic and violent. Blood was shed. Innocent lives taken. It's terrible. This is all I'm going to tape today. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Bye. I'll turn this thing off. Hold up.